Hello everyone, welcome to Slipjoint Sawyer. Today we're going to be taking a look at a Victorinox knife, and please ignore the teeth mark in the box. The dog literally ate it. I opened the package, was inspecting the knife, and he ran off with the box. So we'll just pretend that doesn't exist, all the damage on there. You can see we have Victorinox here and the red and white shield above it. We have Victorinox since 1887, the original Swiss Army knife. We have some barcode information that's been chewed off. This one was bought through Amazon, so that's their Amazon logo there. And then we can see some contact information there. We've got made in Switzerland, the usual sort of stuff you'd see on the box. And we're looking at the Sportsman in red, and that's model number 0.3808. So inside the box, you get the standard sort of paperwork you get with most Victorinox knives, information on how to use some of the tools on there, and as well as that, some maintenance and cleaning instructions on the back. Pretty standard stuff from them with most knives that require it. And here we have it, the Sportsman. So this is an 84mm model, which equates to right about 3.4 inches closed. You can see we have the wonderful original red Celador scales, and this has had a bit of carry time, so there is going to be battle scars all over it. I've really enjoyed carrying this the last few days. See, we have the Victorinox shield there in silver, and the fit and finish, as per usual with Victorinox, is second to none. There's nothing I can really say about the fit and finish of their knives. They are absolutely immaculate. That's pretty much it. They're immaculate. They do a fantastic job. They're pumping these out thousands, hundreds of thousands at a time, and I'm yet to find any with any sort of quality issues. But we'll go through a bit of the tool set together. So the first sort of tool we have on here is the keyring. They're advertising that as a tool. Personally, the 84mm is a little bit big to put on a keychain, but I generally put like a little lanyard on there for pulling them out of the slip. Makes it a bit easier to get hold of. We also have the scale tools on there. So we have the toothpick on the back, and we also have the tweezers on the front. One of my favourite tools, these are tweezers on this. I'm always getting splinters when I'm working outside, or picking up small parts when I'm doing some maintenance on some modern knives. These are great for picking up the tiny screws, the little washers, the bearings if they ever fall out, because that's a pain. There we go, the tweezers. On the back of the knife now, you will see that there is the eyeglasses or the glassy screwdriver. Now I added that additionally afterwards. That doesn't come with it. We do get the corkscrew and the punch or awl. You see the sewing iron there, and that does have a nice little edge on it. Not sharp enough to cut yourself, but definitely sharp enough to punch through leather. Maybe you need to put a new hole in a belt, something along those lines. But you can see we have the polished satin finish on all Victorinox knives with their nice clean nail nick. And as per usual, all the fit and finish, all the walk and talk on all these blades is absolutely fantastic. Doesn't miss a beat at all runs really smooth. But yeah, if you do end up getting a little screwdriver, I really recommend these are the ones with the corkscrew. They come in very handy, especially for my glasses. I'm always dropping them when the screws come loose. So this is perfect for me when I'm out and about, just to make sure I don't lose or break them. It just screws into there and then snaps back, and you wouldn't even notice the difference. It doesn't stick up any higher. It's nicely compact in there. Opening layer then, we have the can opener or tin opener with the sort of the smaller flathead screwdriver on the top there. I have also used this as a bit of a scraper, or just to get off some marks on things, and it's worked perfectly well for that as well. Again, the clean nail nick and that polished satin finish. No half stop on this tool, just a nice, about a 5-6 on a pull, but then really about a 7 to break it. And that's something that Victorinox do fantastically well. I love how they're able to make it easy to open, but then it requires quite a bit of force to get that tool or blade to close. And that's something I really admire about their knives. Next up on the left hand side then, we have the cap lifter, wire stripper, and the larger flathead screwdriver. And of course this one is on a half stop, so it's easier to use different sorts of tools. Especially with the wire stripper, you don't want it wobbling around when you're trying to use that, especially when you're going to be using the blade. The best way I found it is put the wire in, rest the blade on it and twist, and that's not going to work if this is moving back and forth. So a great idea to have that on a half stop. Again, action on this, fantastic. This one's about a 5.5 to open, and with that half stop it's right about 7.5 nearly to close. Again, the semi-polished finish with the clean nail nick. Just, for me, this is a real sort of, as well as being useful, this is a sort of a fidget tool for me. The amount of times I find myself just sort of sat here while I'm working or whatever, just flicking this back and forth. That's probably just me, but I generally tend to fidget with that tool. Next up, we have the main blade. You see the Victorinox stainless Swiss made tang stab, and then Officer Swiss on the back. Edge on this, perfect, razor sharp out of the box, as you'd expect from Victorinox. And this being an 84mm model, the blade is slightly shorter than the 91s, so we're looking at a full blade length of, look at that, bang on 2.5, and then a cutting edge of, say, about 2.1 inches. So very UK and world friendly knife. Same sort of action as on most of the blades, about a 5 to a 6 open and then a 7 to break that. And a really sort of nice pocketable size, the 84mm. I've really been getting into this size a lot more. Don't get me wrong, the Victorinox Compact is still my favourite by a long, long way. But I've just really been enjoying this. It fits in my hand perfectly. Could be a little bit small for some people, but I find the grip of this is great. Again, the mirror satin polish with the nail nick on there as well. No swedging, just that nice standard drop point, spear point blade that Victorinox do so well. Really love their knives on their Swiss Army knives. They do a great job with them. And then last but not least, so instead of the pen blade, we have this little file. Got the straight cut horizontal, vertical file there, and that nail cleaner at the end. This has become very useful for me, especially with my stronger pull-in slip joint. So recently got that twisted assisted Sheffield Barlow, and the pull on that is so strong I actually broke a nail trying to pull it out, so I used the file to sort of file it down and make it a bit less jagged and sharp. But it's also really good for, say you're working somewhere and there's a bit of a sharp surface on a bit of plastic or a bit of metal. The file works great for that too. Again, nail nick, that same polished satin finish on there, and about a 5 to open, and I'd say about 6.5 on the break. A little bit lighter for this one, but it's a file, it's not a cutting edge, no concerns. I mean, if that closes on you, there's nothing's going to happen. So there we go, guys. That's my review of the Victorinox Sportsman. That is in the red Celador. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Please be sure to like, subscribe, and ring that bell for notifications. And I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.